just to add to what Vijay said, some of these terms that get thrown around starts to seem like this is a utopia. This will solve a lot of the issues that we've been dealing with in industry. And not to be a pessimist by no means. As an entrepreneur, as a technologist, I'm a big optimist about the opportunities that are out there. At the same time, sometimes we get carried away. And we know in business, in working with real problems, some of the frustrations, some of the challenges we deal with, some of these problems go way back. And you mentioned a couple of examples in the world that we are used to dealing with global supply chains, with multi-layered parties. Shipments are coming in from Far East through ocean shippers, freight forwarders, manufacturers, secondary contract manufacturers, and from there to distributors, warehousing companies, railroads, and then to third-party warehouse companies in the States or other parts of the world, and then finally to the retail shelf. If you see the various links that are out there, and the amount of discrepancy, amount of confusion that sometimes exists, and people have been at it to decrease it, to eliminate some of the inefficiencies, but today, even today, it is not inconceivable to have a situation where there is a production problem in the Far East somewhere, and there's a ripple effect causing retail shelves in some other part of the world suffering from lack of product, promotion gone wrong, and so on. So again, we would simply think that put blockchain out there, everything will take care of. No, it doesn't happen like that. But could you maybe make attempts to create smart contracts that will allow for information visibility to be made much more efficient, much more cost-effective? Yes. And there are ways to do that. And it doesn't have to involve money. I think that's where the clarity comes in. Even now, the clarity is not quite there. A lot of experimentation is going on. But juries out, the opportunities are still out there. And that's where the exciting part is. The same frustration that costs us sleepless nights also is an area of a lot of opportunity for entrepreneurs, youngsters that are wanting to get into new fields, see if there's a new, novel way to look at the problem.
Maybe Girish has something to add to this, if any?
Because I don't have much to say about blockchain because we are from the United States and the area that our industry we are focusing, they're not much into blockchain at this point of time. So I don't have much to add on. So
what I've closely seen is...
I just have an example to make.
No, I didn't ask you because you're in the banking side.
Absolutely. No, but as I said, so the banks are now the technology companies, and if they have to exist, they have to, collaborate and co-innovate rather. So we are very aggressive on the fintech side, and we are collaborating with various partners. So on the blockchain side, we were the first one in Asia to issue a commercial paper, which was worth INR 100 crores for Vedanta. And we were supported by a partner in US, Montego, who was a fintech partner here. Coming back to the question, I think it is important, while there is no, you can have it and you cannot, and obviously there are two sides of the coin, there are positives and negatives. But I guess to an extent, when data security, the safety of the transaction, I guess we'll see more and more usage of blockchain going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, just to talk about blockchain, just to brief about and boast about what my company does around with blockchain is that what we could not find a solution exactly working only with blockchain. So we had to work along with IoT also, to do something which is like we are trying to solve challenges around counterfeit in the alcohol industry. So what we have done is, you have a chip which is fixed around the bottleneck. You tap it with the NFC phone, and I come to know where was the bottling done, the distilled of the alcohol, where is it manufactured, who was the reseller. So all this provenance is what we come to know. And at least in India, when you see that there are so many counterfeit in this industry happening, so that's a solution which I combine blockchain with IoT. So maybe is there something else which you think you have something around with blockchain or IoT?
So can I? So absolutely. The joke is there is more Scotch sold in India than made in Scotland. So, so obviously, you know, it's a big issue. And in Canada, we have ice wine. So ice wine is also only made in Canada. But there's more ice wine sold in China than made in Canada. So this is something that people have been looking at. But who is going to bear the cost of these ledgers and all these things? So at some point, somebody large enough has to step in and say, you know, maybe Johnny Walker says, I am going to do this, and this is going to cost some money. I am not going to transfer these costs to the customer. So it hits the bottom line. So there is a business decision that somebody has to take, which is, I think, what it finally boils down to. You know, this is going to cost X million dollars. You know, we're going to do this anyways. It's good for our brand and whatever. So somebody has to take that decision. So, you know, or if it's a retailer, they take the decision. So I'll give you an example of RFID. A couple of years back, there was radio frequency identification. And we were involved in this project with Walmart and Procter & Gamble. And at one point, Procter & Gamble sent a bill for $40 million to Walmart, said, we put all these RFID tags on these bottles, on all these products, and here is the benefit to you. And Walmart said, great job, but you're just helping the supply chain. We will not pay this money. And that was the end of the RFID pilot. Because at some point, what happens is, who's going to pay for this? Right? So if that is clear and somebody's saying, we will do this, nobody's doing this for the greater good.
Absolutely. So anybody else has to add something to this before we go to the next question?
I just wanted to add on the IoT side, right? So definitely IoT is catching up a lot. I mean, there was once a time like IoT just came and then it went down because there was no, you know, very concrete use case where to use the IoT. Because, it's just Internet on Things, and people were coming up with the right, left, center, different technologies, different kind of support. But what was the real driver behind the business to go up, you know, after IoT? Means they really need to understand the investment. I mean, as you said, right? Who is going to pay for it? Who's going to take the ownership? And a lot of things goes behind it before any technology can really pick up. And then on top of that, the business case has to be there that can help them either drive revenue or reduce the total cost of ownership. I think that's where most of the technology, either it's a blockchain or IoT, you know, the organization basically focus on.
The only point which I want to make is, I think, you know, point well taken in terms of the example that is given about the scotch, and, you know, the other part, same stands true for vodka, which gets consumed maximum bottled in Russia, and maximum suicides actually happen in Russia, right, in the IC region. So
Okay,
there are other examples as well, right? So the only point which I want to make here is these are the technologies, and what actually remains basic is the understanding of the business, right? That will not change. You used to have cost as the optimum measure earlier for adopting technology. Now you're looking at technologies to gain more business, right? But the understanding, the basic principle about the business will remain the same. Who's going to absorb the cost? Somebody has to subsidize, cross-subsidize. Somebody has to bear the cost. So this you know, public policy debate will always be there. Somebody has to bear the cost, unless the volumes are there.
True. So I mean, when we say about emerging technologies, we know it's all about augmented, virtual, or mixed reality, say blockchain, Internet of Things, or say RPA, as what Vijay's company works around with, and also with cloud computing and so on. So, but one favorite topic always remains as close, what is always referred with emerging technologies, is artificial intelligence. And although centuries away from Skynet, today's AI platforms have been making steady strides in making processes free of human intervention. However, with these benefits come potential job losses also. So automation has become the new norm in a number of businesses such as accounting, marketing, and sales, as developers continue to find and expand in AI automation capabilities. So as machine learning continues to be employed in business processes, AI has found its way into the heart of businesses by enabling machines to perform tasks the way humans do, right? So the question what I have to ask is, do you think AI will take over lots of jobs now on. Because what I see is from the Forrester.com survey, 16% of US jobs may be replaced by technologies like machine learning, AI, robots, and automation by 2025. And there are other surveys which say 48% of experts say digital agents and robots will displace both white and blue-collar employees. 54% of EU jobs are at risk of computerization. So these are all the surveys what we have heard all about. So maybe I have to say something around AI. Will they make us lose our jobs? Maybe before that, I would like to know from Sanjay, can you brief about what exactly are you doing with this AI with your, maybe you have a mic.
Actually, in my sector, we are...
Hold the mic closed.
We are in surveillance business. So AI plays a very important role because, for example, I want to keep an eye on this area. So there are two things. First, either we keep so many people who can do physical surveillance. Another thing is that we tell machines that, okay, you do this task. So there's two types. If human touch is there, then there will be some sort of negligence, some sort of problems which we miss out. But if we use AI, then definitely machines is programmed to do that task only. So machine can do work more efficiently. So in my business, we are coming up with a solution for a small level so that we can integrate our system with the surveillance thing. And then for small shops or for small offices, we can perform different type of tasks through AI.
Okay. So maybe I think Girish has something to add when we are facing these challenges with unemployment and all these things, and with AI, how do you really think that the challenge would be?
See, we are very deep in AI machine learning, and in past 3.5 years, I don't see there is job loss due to these technologies, right? These technologies are definitely increasing, productivity for the industry, and with the new technology, I see lack of resources available to utilize this technology to the optimal, use of it. From most analysis, like in America, I have some notes here. 40% of the industries are moving to machine learning and AI and IoT kind of business in RPA. That's where the digitalization comes into picture, right? More than 16% of the American industries are getting automated, and 15% are increasing day by day, and 31% of the industry are saying we will move into either digitalized cloud or AI ML thing into next 12 to 16 months. From our perspective, we have to go through a lot of ups and downs when we moved into AI and ML thing, because this is more, you're building some models that can be trained, and you take some decision on that. And the models are built because you just have certain parameters, but there is no tangible output. You have to take the output and understand what you need to do from there. And that's where the business will give some, insight to their people and go from there. And from the resource side, I think there is a lot of demand. High skill people are required. Like we only hire pretty much PhD candidates, because the nature of the work is, you have to really think beyond certain level when you're using AI, ML, and come out with some really concrete information.
So again, I'm going to offer a flip side to this, and then I'll provide a use case that we are dealing with, and among the other use cases that we are working on, and then relate to the question at hand. So in the world we live in, and the customers we work with, we are working with construction, home improvement, and understanding images, understanding scenes. For example, if you take a picture of the scene and be able to identify objects, in the scene and do it with some precision and do it fast. That is not a trivial problem. That is a very complicated, very mathematically expensive, and not just expensive, but just sometimes, as they say in math, computationally hard. So these are very hard problems. And we are putting a lot of effort and putting all these technologies into effect to the best we can and getting only 60%, 70% accuracy. We are pushing the edge of technology as much as we can, applying AI, ML, deep learning, image processing. We hear a lot of these stories about how my neural net has recognized a cat from having trained itself by looking at thousands and 10,000s of images of cats. But that's just one aspect of it. To be able to do it very generically, in an abstract sense, take a picture and then be able to identify something there, it is a non-trivial problem. So we are pushing the boundaries. I'm talking to my own team, people at Google, Carnegie Mellon University, Stanford. This is a very leading research that's happening as we speak. And it's been going on for a number of years. AI didn't start yesterday. My master's work was in AI in 1985, if I remember my dates right. So things have progressed in terms of advanced algorithms, computing power, but some of the concepts, a lot of the concepts are still the same. Problems are still the same. So interesting, dark reality about AI, if I may, is all these things that you hear about how Google and Facebook are able to detect from pictures what is happening. Guess how that happens? There's an army of people sitting in various parts of the world, some near here, some in China and other parts of the Far East, daily on a constant basis, looking at pictures, labeling them, identifying what is where, and creating these databases. And there's even a term for it, data labeling. And there's tons and tons of effort and investment going into it and doing it more precisely so that we, at the end point, the consumers can, with some reasonable satisfaction, say, yeah, my image got recognized.
So I think there are a couple of questions.
This question is, I am Moti. I am CEO of Bloom Business Strategies, investment banking in Dubai. My question is directed to USA, gentlemen. Why blockchain is not picking up in USA? I mean, now Facebook is planning some cryptocurrency and all that. There are a lot of noise around cryptocurrency as well as blockchain. Why a technologically advanced nation like USA is not recognizing blockchain? Thank you.
Can I take it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I will take that. So the thing there is, again, you asked two questions there. Cryptocurrency and blockchain. I think Mr. Kapoor had talked about why blockchain is not picking up. Now, the answer to that is the business case. Somebody has to put the money for the blockchain, for the central ledgers, for the distributed ledgers. So somebody has to fund it, right? So IBM and Maersk Shipping have a blockchain where they have put in the money. So somebody has put in the money to build something. In terms of cryptocurrency, the Libra cryptocurrency from Facebook. Now, Facebook today has around 2.5 billion people, right? Facebook has more population than China and India put together. If Facebook comes up with its own currency, guess what happens? They're not a nation, but they will have their own currency that is bigger. It's going to be potentially used by more people than the Indian rupee or the Chinese yuan, right? So there are also things about, this has not been settled. What happens to the RBI then? What is the use of the China Central Bank? Okay, so these are questions that are not answered. And the government today, what is the relevance of the government if the currency is controlled by Facebook, right? So these are questions that have still not found answers. Are we as a world ready to say, I am a member of Facebook? Facebook is my country. India is no longer my country, or China is not my country, right? I don't think so. The currency cannot be issued by Libra, right? So fiat currencies will continue. So I think the dust will settle on this. And with due respect to everybody that are very bullish that, this is going to take over, I don't think as yet, okay? There are still things where it can help, But I wouldn't, don't sell your home and invest in Bitcoin. Okay, I would say hold on to those assets for now. If you are a gambler, go ahead. But if not, I think there is a lot of questions that are still not unanswered.
Yeah, and I think with this discussion, I believe I'll try. I'm already getting signals from Milind there, and I believe Mr. Clivus, you are someone whom we have to reach out. Please get in touch with Clivus. He's been doing something awesome for the industry in Estonia. I believe Girish and Mr. Ram is already here trying to push themselves and doing something unique, sitting out in the US. From Canada, we have our very own Goan Vijay, and his heart is in Goa, whereas his always stays in Canada. Mr. Shah from Bhutan, I believe you should be looking at some really good partnerships from India. And I had a lot of questions to ask to Mr. Bhupesh with respect to his what excellent stuff he's doing in the banking side. And as he's been telling, Yes Bank is the only bank which is known as a technology bank. So I believe a lot of questions may come to you, and I believe a lot of customers coming to you now after I gave you a technology bank. So that's it from our side. Thanks, gentlemen.